got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang, watching top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. Grab your popcorn, sit right down. Film threads, the hottest show in town. Yeah. Laughs, chills, and deep debates. Chris and Alan, let's celebrate. Woo!
It's one of those days. That's all I want to say. It's one of those days. Well, let's see.
Alan!
We have a stressed out Chris today.
So it's a Wednesday.
Yeah. I think for Chris it's Murphy's Law Day as well.
It's everything is going wrong.
Yeah.
I liked the nooner when, for me, it started at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is still that's noon somewhere, right? But it was 8 a.m. Get it, and I have a good break in between. But it is what it is. By the way, if I get a phone call during the show, I have to take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm dealing with all the logistics of our awards event. Which and also now that right outside my door is these trucks picking up all the branches and leaves and debris from the windstorms. Like, that's been going all morning. Been on the phone with our getting the trophies for our show, attending to every detail. I haven't had 1 minute. I'm telling this because Alan's here. I haven't had 1 minute to write the script for the show. You might get that script, that rough script, late, and you might have a day to work on it. So start coming up with jokes now.
Yeah, that's what
there you go. Yeah, there you go. But I'm happy to talk to you. It's a nice break from the BS of this. How are you doing, Alan? You know, I'm
I do the website. Not as that's a constant level form of stress.
Right. It's like constant.
Yeah. So it's like I'm used to it. It happens every day. So a lot of work to do, and just managing along, getting ready.
Well, at least we have not pushed our event back.
Yeah.
Right. Like our event is Sunday, February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Santa Ana, California, which guess what? That's away from the fires.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near the fires.
Yeah. So if you go to awardthis.com, which was recently updated, you can submit your movie for eligibility next year. You can get tickets. Join us at the show Sunday, February 2nd. You know what would be a good thing to happen right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it almost before. I was just about to ask. And then,
by the way, it's in Santa Ana, which is what the winds that caused the fire was named.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go see where the wind is.
Where it all came from.
Yeah, and so go check that out. And then go to shop.filmthreat.com. I got one of these The Oscars Can Suck It shirts. I love it. I'm going to wear it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll be up at 5 a.m. for the reacting live to the Oscar nominations. But go to shop.filmthreat.com for all your Film Threat needs. We do seasonal shirts, limited edition. We have our Award This shirts through award season. So pick one of those up. Is there... Oh! I love what Alan is doing. Or is Atomic Lori doing this?
Which one?
Just the little banners at the
Oh
bottom.
yeah, no, I did that. Yeah.
Thanks, man. It's great. It's like you're paying attention. I love it.
I just don't want you to have another stroke. That's all.
I'm very close. I'm very close.
This was a film that we shot on a $30K budget.
We're not going to get Oscars. We're not going to get Independent Spirit Awards. We don't have the huge budgets to get those awards.
While Hollywood continues to churn out sequels and franchise factory films, exciting and original indie movies of all kinds are being released in theaters, on demand, and on streaming, and we're here to celebrate them.
So crazy. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna fill this with Mountain Dew.
First they ignore you, and then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then you win.
You guys help everyone in this room push the dream a little bit longer.
I think that Film Threat and Award This really are champions, true champions of independent film, which we've seen here.
Our theme song is so majestic. It's weird. Today, here's what's happening. We have a ton of news stories. Alan has a review of Section 31, and we are going to interview Erica Gavin. Let me just go full screen for a second. Severin Films has re-released a bunch of Russ Meyer classics. We are going to interview the actress Erica Gavin, and we'll talk Russ Meyer at the end of the show. I don't know if you can. My lighting is weird here. And can you hear that in the background? You can hear the trucks grinding. Okay, well that's
You're good. You're good. You
crazy.
think people can hear your background, but your sound setup is actually pretty good.
So they actually can't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
All right, well that's good. That's good. Okay, let's see who's here today.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday. Wow, a lot of comments here.
Let's see. Jason Ackers became a U2 member. Sorry, I'm reading weird right now. M for 2. Any good recommendations for anime? We're going to try to see the one coming out on Thursday.
What's that?
I was going to say Silent Voice, but that was the last movie that person did. It's on our here. I got it. It's The Colors Within.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. I would recommend. Yeah, that looks good. Also, just I don't know. Akira is still my favorite. Like that's my default. When I just say Akira.
Yeah.
Thanks, Em. Appreciate you.
Andrew Cram gifted 20 film chips. Thank you for that.
Andrew, that's really great. That's really generous. Thank you.
Rick 1662, member for 3 months. Thank you for that. Chicken Wing for 199. Goddamn right, it's one of these days.
It's one of those days for me. It's
Aurora
an off day.
Aurora Uplinks for 5. I had this idea. I was too lazy to do using screens from Rando. Fast-paced, violent shows with music and Star Trek Kurtzman Trek dialogue.
Edit it. We'll show it on the show. I'll watch it. Send it to us, Aurora.
And Andrew Cram for 10. I hope you're feeling better today, Chris.
I am now. Now that the show has started, I feel better. Thank you, Andrew. You helped me. I appreciate it.
Something about just taking your mind off things helps. Chicken Wing for 199. Dude, F today, but thank God for Film Threat.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
MK Solid always cheers me up.
Yes, Chris should assign Alan as special counsel on the Blake Lively drama, just like the D-Files. Yeah, we need to.
Have you seen? I don't know who is responsible for this. It's the they're on point here.
How am I getting involved in this?
Well, that's X-Ray Girl, isn't it? No, wait, is that you?
I don't know.
I gotta get glasses, obviously.
Yeah, but if Chris were trans. There you are.
What do you mean, me?
Well, I'm looking at if you were male passing.
Right. I look like that's like my ex photo. I look like a lesbian. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. But somehow your discussion of Miss Film Thread is I'm getting sucked into this. Lord Thoughts, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch, shop.filmthread.com.
And a last minute, thank you, Lord Thoth. A last minute super here
from Aurora Uplinks for 5. I'll do my best. And remember, please, friends, choose to live. Kill Bill. LOL.
Well, we'll look at the video when you send it. I would like to see it. Okay, this will cheer me up. This will cheer me up.
Okay.
I love movie trailers. I love trailers. I think the Daredevil trailer is actually better than the Superman trailer. But a trailer came across my desk. We have to experience this together. The title of the movie, I'm going to correct this so you know it's real. It's Bad CGI Gator. That is the name of this movie. Bad CGI Gator. And we will react to the trailer right now. Alan, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Because I like good bad movies. This could be one. So let's watch. Under 2 minutes.
Fish right, damn well, please.
It's not going to go well. Oh, no.
Yeah. Raunchy getaway.
Young, wild, and free. Cheers to Gen Z. Cheers, bitches. Woo!
You're sexy.
This is 100% gonna go viral, you guys. Hey, let's go get drunk and try to have some fun, huh?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Okay.
I'm done.
Wait. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh. What?
What is it doing?
Oh, it's like regular alligator stuff, just floating through the air, circling the corpse of our best friend.
My fucking SEAL Team 6, bro. You can't fucking do this.
Oh my god! Why is it floating?
Big chance.
Storm of the arm, it's a push to start.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Alan, I don't know
love
what to
it.
say.
I love a title that sets expectations right off the bat.
Well, I love the people at Full Moon Entertainment. They put out, they make like a whole feature film in one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You got to admire the spirit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they did.
I love that.
Yeah. No, it's got everything you expect from Full Moon.
And I expect nudity for sure. That was there. We have some comments here. Hey, and Andrew Cram gifted 20 Film Threat memberships. That is making my day. And look at this. I love this.
They fly now. Yeah.
Lord Thoth, they fly now. And no action required. Real glad count the gator. I don't know. I don't know. It was very diverse. Do they have alligators? That would be interesting. So, anyways, all right. We have a lot of news stories. So let's get into it. Some obviously the fires here in LA are continuing, and Kamala gives an LA fire update. What is this, Alan?
Yeah. Here, let me pull it up here.
What is it?
It's okay. So,
would you like me to share it? Is it easier if I?
No,
do
I got
it?
it. I got it right now. I just had to bring it up here. Here we go.
All right. Well, I'd like to.
But yeah. Right after her appearance at the presidential inauguration, Kamala Harris comes to California to give us an update on her thoughts and feelings her hopes and wishes and prayers for the people of Los Angeles. Here we go.
Strangers who, in the face of that stranger, they see a neighbor. These are folks who understand the strength and the value of community, which is everyone coming together with a shared sense of purpose and identity as a community of people. And I wanted to come by, most importantly, to thank them, those who have volunteered and have brought people together and have sacrificed so much, and our firefighters. And I mentioned to these firefighters the fact that California firefighters, time and time again, prove themselves to be the best strangers.
What was that?
That was our former vice president. Could have been our president, Kamala Harris, coming down to give inspiring words to the people of Los Angeles and the firefighters who have risked their lives. Thank you, Vice President Harris. Your words are words that need to be chewed on and mulled over to truly understand what she's trying to say, what you're trying to say. Thank you for that.
Well, in related news, for locals here, Bob Iger is eyed as the next mayor of LA. This is from our friends at That Park Place. Disney's Bob Iger eyed for LA mayor amid Karen Bass California wildfire controversy. Alan, you have it on your computer. Why don't you read from there? And I'm going to look at a mattress ad, I guess.
Okay.
Is that stop seeing this ad? What am I doing?
Okay, here we go. All right, so could Bob Iger become the next mayor of Los Angeles? One elected official certainly seems to think that the Disney big boss could be the next LA mayor. California Congressman Ro Khanna, a former supporter of LA Mayor Bass, is calling for a major change in the city's leadership. In the wake of the devastating fires, Khanna has suggested that Disney CEO Bob Iger should step into the political arena and challenge Bass for the mayoral seat. Someone who should be running for mayor is Bob Iger, Khanna says. He is someone I know very well. He is a leader of Disney. He is a remarkable person. He had thought about running for president. We need new leadership in the state of California. I'm hopeful Iger will do it. I don't know if he will, but I'm hopeful he will.
Well, if Karen Bass survives the recall effort, I don't think she'll run again or she'll be easily defeated. I think there's a lot of fresh leadership is what we're really looking for in LA. But Iger, I think he'd be better than Bass, Karen Bass, but my God, like does he now have these? I mean, he's had political aspirations, but I don't know. I don't think this is purely for ego. That's all this is. Purely ego.
Yeah. But what I admire about Bob Iger is that he'll spend and spend and spend money over and over again until something works.
Yes, that's actually very accurate. That's when you're in government, that actually is kind of what you do. You just keep spending money until suddenly problems are solved.
Yeah.
So
and the best thing is he knows how to spend other people's money. He knows how to spend the money of Disney stockholders. And I'm sure he'll know how to spend California taxpayer money just as well. So good luck to you, Bob Iger.
And if this story, a related story, doesn't convince you enough, LA is on fire both like literally and figuratively. I'm being serious.
Yes, I know you are.
The Academy says Oscars will honor Los Angeles amid wildfires. This year's ceremony will also move away from live performances and will instead focus on the songwriters. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Alan, if you would read the story.
Sure.
Ads pop up.
The Academy of Motion Pictures Art and Science has sent a letter to the full membership about the upcoming Oscar ceremony, March 2nd. We will honor California and the City of Dreams, showcasing its beauty and resilience as well as its role as a beacon for filmmakers and creative visionaries for over a century. Academy CEO Bill Kramer and President Janet Yang said in a letter, "We will reflect on the recent events while highlighting the strength, creativity, and optimism that defines Los Angeles and our industry." Additionally, the Academy has announced the ceremony will move away from live performances and will instead focus on songwriters. We are thrilled to bring back our Fab Five moment, where individual film artists recognize nominees. Also this year, the Best Original Song category will move away from live performances and will be focused on songwriters. We will celebrate their artistry through personal reflection from the teams who bring these songs to life. All of this and more will uncover the stories and inspiration behind the nominees. Do you get that Fab Five moment, by the way?
What do you mean?
Okay, so they've been doing this lately, but it's where they'll take the category of Best Actor, they'll bring out someone related to them, and then they will wax poetically about how great that person is. And now they're going to expand that to the song.
That was such a dumb idea. Well, you and I will be up tomorrow at 5 a.m. reacting live to the nominees. I don't know, man. I mean, LA is on fire. The industry in Hollywood is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
LA is literally on fire, and the business is burning in more ways than one. I mean, these three news stories really solidify that. So I don't know. We'll see. My thing is, my prediction every year, this always comes true. I have an Oscar prediction you can bet on. I am always right. The Oscars will be boring. Bet on it. Bet on it. Let's go to your comments here.
All right. From Rumble, Wesley 1924 for 2. All I can say is thank God Joe Biden survived. Yeah. We almost had a President Harris. Corky's calling. Replace one incompetent person with another incompetent person. That's right. That's the tradition of LA. Chelsea M. Well, LA is already in flames, so his work is halfway done.
Yeah, exactly.
Joseph Bass and Iger are the best LA can come up with. No, unfortunately, there are actual people who live in LA who could actually run the city of LA.
Yeah, but they're going with name recognition over competence.
Yeah, or diversity recognition. Let's see. Leslie Tarkin. LA government is a Mickey Mouse operation. It's also a little goofy. And everyone Donald Ducks it to work. Mars Monkey Max. They hired Will Smith to slap Newsom and Bass publicly.
I would like that.
Yeah, that'd be.
I would like it. We have so many great news stories until we get to Section 31. And I had to compliment you and Lori. You pulled this together last minute. I almost didn't do the show today. There was a phone call 10 minutes before we went live where I said, I don't think I can do the show. And my phone is here with the ringer all the way up. I never do that because I am waiting for a call. So I apologize in advance. But more news. The Razzie nominations have been announced. And I don't know if you know about the Razzies. This is the show that when Showgirls came out originally in its initial release, it swept the Razzies. And Paul Verhoeven actually showed up. Famous people have showed up to receive their Razzie awards, as it were. If you put up the story, Alan.
Yes.
Can we go through what the nominees are for the Razzies?
We'll just skip the obligatory commentary and we'll just go through it.
Right. Just go right to the nominations.
All right, here we go.
By the way, I don't know if you know this. Film Threat actually sponsored the Razzies one year. I think we gave them like in the 90s, we gave them like $1,000, and then I presented one of the Razzie awards. So I actually went. I have a picture somewhere of me with a giant check, one of those comically large checks. But what do we have here? Let's go through worst. We'll build up to worst picture.
Okay,
worst actor. Okay, let's go.
Okay, do you want to just start acting, or here we go? Supporting actress Ariana DeBose for Argyle and Craven the Hunter.
Ooh.
Leslie Ann Down as Margaret Thatcher and Reagan. Emma Roberts, Madam Web. Amy Schumer, Unfrosted. And FKA Twigs for The Crow.
Nice. What about director? Go to director, and then we'll move up the actor categories. Down. Scroll down.
Go down. Here we go. Director S.J. Clarkson for Madam Web.
I am rooting for her.
Yeah, we need female representation. For Francis Ford Coppola for Megalopolis, Todd Phillips for Joker, Folie à Deux, Eli Roth, Borderlands, and Jerry Seinfeld, Unfrosted.
Those are solid director nominees right there. That's solid. Okay, let's go up to supporting actor.
Okay, Jack Black for voiceover, voice only for Borderlands. Kevin Hart, Borderlands. Shia LaBeouf in drag for Megalopolis. Tahar Rahim for Madam Web. And John Voight for Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers.
Wow. Okay, actor and actress. Let's get to those.
All right, worst actor, Jack Black for Dear Santa. Zachary Levi, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker, Folie à Deux. Dennis Quaid for Reagan, and Jerry Seinfeld, Unfrosted. Worst actress, Kate Blanchett, Borderlands. Lady Gaga, Joker, Folie à Deux. Bryce Dallas Howard for Argyle. Dakota Johnson, Madam Web. And Jennifer Lopez in Atlas.
How cool would it be if Dakota Johnson wins for Madam Web and she shows up to get her award? I think she would do it. She's got a great sense of humor. I love Dakota Johnson. We saw her in that one movie.
Yeah, Daddy-O.
With Sean Penn.
Yeah,
and
Daddy-O.
She was so cool. We sat
Yeah.
very close, and there was all this tension because Sean Penn didn't want video or photos and whatever, and she was just making jokes. Dakota Johnson, I love.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay. Actor.
Yeah, we did actor already.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But actress, I want to see Dakota Johnson. No, we didn't do actor.
No, we did. I combined the two, so I started with actor.
Okay. All right. Go to
worst movie.
that's how I'm just got an email I have to respond to during the show.
Okay.
Typical Gore. Let's go to worst picture Razzie noms.
Okay,
Let's go. Who are the
Borderlands.
nominees?
Borderlands, Joker, Folie à Deux, Madame Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan. I don't know why they're picking Reagan out like this. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know why. Reagan was a solid movie, a solid biopic.
Solid low budget biopic.
Yeah.
But other than politics, I mean, if you hated Reagan, I guess you're gonna hate this movie. But it just seems to be the political choice and the one that I don't know. What do you think they'll single Reagan out for the Razzies, or will they actually go for the worst movie?
Objectively speaking, it's not a bad movie, but all the others, Borderlands, Joker 2, Madam Web, Megalopolis, all earned their worst picture nom, in my opinion. So,
I mean, I think the biggest miss in terms of making a movie was Joker and Megalopolis.
Yeah.
It was, and the thing I'll say about Megalopolis is, Francis Ford Coppola tried real hard to make a good movie.
Right.
You could question whether Todd Phillips whether his heart was in it or not. But
I think Madam Web or Borderlands, I mean, I don't know. What's funny is in the history of the Razzies, famous people show up to get those awards.
Yeah, I think
kind of funny.
I think didn't Halle Berry and Anne Hathaway show up? No,
Yeah.
or was it what was it? I can't remember her name now. From Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock. I think she showed up one year as well.
Well, Atomic Glory is already looking for the clips as we speak. But yeah, I think that's what people, look, the Razzies are fun. No one sets out to make a bad movie, but sometimes there is such a thing as a good bad movie. It exists. And in Hollywood, actors kind of have to have a sense of humor. No one sets out to make a bad movie. But when you do, how do you react? What do you do? It's just bad. So
Yeah.
there you go.
So yeah, Halle Berry showed up for Catwoman. She accepted her award for Catwoman. And Sandra Bullock for some movie called All About Steve. She showed up for. And Paul Verhoeven showed up for Showgirls.
I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Let's go to your comments here.
All right. JWT6577, member for 60 months. Didn't Halle Berry go to accept hers for Catwoman? Yes, she did.
Confirmation. Hopefully we can find some video of that.
Akanikia, member for 30 months. Alan saying a fully adu.
I like it. Make sure to
always do that.
Yeah.
And the nerd far away, when it comes to the Razzies, they're all winners.
Yeah. Thanks, nerd far away.
Bill W. Jack Black needs a Lifetime Razzie Achievement Award.
He has been in a lot of bad movies. A lot.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Geek Truth 64. Oh, come on. Dennis Quaid as Reagan, worst actor. The movie was mid, but his performance wasn't Razzie worthy. I just feel like they hate Reagan. That's my only.
And guess what? Guess what?
What?
The intrepid Atomic Lori found it. Halle Berry accepts her Razzie Award. Let's look at this.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Halle Berry for Catwoman.
I don't even know why I'm here, so it's all right. Tell me, please.
No, really, I'm late for work. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even.
You should come back anytime. I'm always here. Catnip.
Ladies and gentlemen, Halle Berry.
Oh my God. Here it is. This is better acting. She's crying. What is this?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I never in my life thought I would be up here. Winning a Razzie.
She's got an Oscar. I mean, come on.
She brought it up with her.
It's not like I ever aspired to be here. Thank you. Oh gosh. And no, I don't have to give this back. It's got my name on it.
Good for her, man.
You know, I've got so many people to thank because you don't win a Razzie without a lot of help from a lot of people. So please indulge me and just let me, go through this. First of all, I want to thank Warner Brothers. Thank you for putting me in a piece of shit, god-awful movie. It was just what my career needed, I was at the top, and then Catwoman just plummeted me to the bottom. Love it. It's hard being on top. It's much better being on the bottom. I want to thank my manager, Vincent Severin. Vince, here he is. Here's my manager, Vincent Severin.
Cool that the Razzies get
no,
celebs.
Listen, this guy loves me. He loves me so much. He loves me so much that he tells me that I'm the greatest actress there ever was. He loves me so much that he convinces me to do projects even when he knows they're shit. But that's how much he loves me. That's how much he really loves me. And my only advice to you, Vinny, is next time I do a movie, if I get a chance to do another movie, maybe you should read the script before you read just counting the zeros behind the one really isn't enough. Thank you. I love you, man. Love you. I want to thank my agent and my lawyers, who obviously don't give a shit. They're not here tonight, but love you guys. Love you. I want to thank the writers, all 20 of them. Thank you for thinking this was a good idea. Obviously it wasn't, but I appreciate the thought. You thought it was. You tried. Hey, thank you. I want to thank the cast. You know, it's really important. In order to give a really bad performance like I did, you need a lot of bad actors around you. So I want to thank all of them for being bad right along with me. One of them is here, Alex Borstein. Come on out, Alex.
Oh, God.
Thank you. You know what? Happiest moment of our life. But one of the things about Catwoman, one of the great things about Catwoman. Calm down, Mama. One of the best things about Catwoman was that I got to make some really wonderful lifelong friendships, and this lady is one of them. And you know what? I want to thank you for every single day looking up at me and telling me that I was doing a great job, that I was the best Catwoman you ever saw. I want to thank you for lying straight to my face every day. Thank you. Thank you. You know, in Hollywood, they lie behind your back, but she lied straight to my face. Love that. I love that. Thank you.
You gotta give her credit.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
Y'all beat it. I also want to thank our director, Pitoff. You know, that one name French guy. Thank you very much. It was a joy to come to work every day and work with him, really. I mean, I didn't know what the hell he was saying, but I'm sure it showed in my performance. But it was truly a joy and a pleasure. And I also want to thank my acting coach, Ivana Chubik. She just wrote a book called The Power of the Actor. You all should rush out and get it. Could change your life too. And in all seriousness, okay, I've had enough fun joking. I want to really tell you why I'm here tonight. Really. I'm not exactly sure, really. I'm still trying to figure it out. But, because when I was a kid, my mother told me that if you could not be a good loser, then there's no way you could be a good winner. If you weren't able to take criticism, then you were not worthy of getting praise. So I ventured into my career of acting, and I started off in beauty pageants. It's probably another good reason why I'm here tonight. Started off in beauty pageants, and I won the first 3 in a row. Just won them. I got to the Miss USA pageant, and there I was on the stage with the first runner-up. And I was there, and she was there, and one of us would win. And she was this buxom, blonde, blue-eyed Texan. And I looked at her, and I thought, oh, God, I'm probably going to lose. Sure enough, they called the winner. It wasn't me, it was her. I looked at her, and all I could hear was my mother's voice in my head, and I thought, okay, here's my chance. But all I wanted to do was fucking slap the shit out of her. So, as you can imagine, I want to fucking slap the shit out of these Razzie people that brought me here tonight. But I won't do that. I'll do what my mother taught me, and I'll stand here graciously. I'll take the criticism, take it as a lesson learned, And I hope to God I never see these people ever again. Thank you all.
By the way, no one wrote that speech for her. She got up and ad-libbed that whole thing. That was amazing. She's got my respect. Alan, that was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lori, for finding that. That was incredible. We're gonna move away from awards-related news. Quick super, hey, Graph Web for 2. Can you sing it, Alan?
Do you want me to sing it? Graph Web for 2. No, this is a Badger thing. Well, I'm not stealing his gimmick. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. I'll go that way since I don't want to.
You're making a different choice.
I don't want to upstage.
Thank you, Graph Web. That's cool. Now we've got. We will get to Alan's review of Section 31, but some big news has been announced. We've got about Robert Eggers and Ryan Gosling. We'll do that in the Section 31. Let's get to Eggers first. This has got me excited. Robert Eggers' new project. He's staying in the realm of monsters, which is exciting. Alan, if you would pull up the story.
Yes.
And also, real quick aside, you need to see The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy. And it also, The Witch also stars the actor who's playing Galactus in Fantastic Four, whose name escapes me. But Robert Eggers, his first horror effort was The Witch.
The Witch, yes.
Yes, and here he is. Alan, if you would read this, this is going to be exciting.
Robert Eggers reteams with focus features for 13th century werewolf thriller Werewolf.
And it's slightly misspelled like The Witch. Not misspelled. By the way, there's an interview that I did with Robert Eggers that you can find it on the interview channel, or maybe on this channel somewhere. Just look up Robert Eggers on Film Threat. I interviewed him about The Northman. And I did ask him, I said, my friends call the movie The Vavitch. And he basically, he responded to it. He said, well, if they're calling it that, they're idiots. So, because the reason for that was to make a W in some script. They would take 2 V's to make a W in old printing presses.
To save time, yeah.
Yeah. So in any case, he's doing Werewolf set in the 13th century. So
it's not the Werewolf. It's
no. Are there any other details? But that's exciting news.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Eggers wrote Werewolf. I don't know how to pronounce it. With Sion, who co-wrote the heady Viking saga The Northman with the filmmaker. While details are scarce, sources say the story is set in 13th century England and features dialogue that is true to the time period and has translations and annotations for those uninitiated in Old English.
I love that. Like in both Nosferatu and in even Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and The Witch, it's the language true to the era.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pretty much understand things in context, right? What they're trying to say, but they speak in that old English. I love that. It's really being accurate to the period. And Nosferatu, the least diverse movie released this year. I wonder if it qualifies. I mean, is it disqualifying for Best Picture?
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow. But this is really exciting news. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah. I mean, look, you're clearly the bigger fan of Robert Eggers than I am.
Oh, I love Robert Eggers.
Yeah. I appreciated the look, the visual style of Nosferatu. Story, fine. I'm fine with it. I got to see the original right after watching Eggers' version. And I do appreciate the fact that, I think Yeah, I think he really tried to pay homage to the time period and the style of old Hollywood in Nosferatu, and I'm pretty sure he'll nail it here with Werewolf.
Yeah, I am pumped about this. I mean, Nosferatu, I think it'll get technical achievements. I think the biggest competition is going to be Dune Part 2, but we'll see. But the fact that Nosferatu made money, you know, that it's been well received is a good sign. And I want to see more horror films that take the genre seriously. So, and by the way, Nosferatu just came out on digital. So there you go.
Yeah.
So cannot wait. More news here. It's a heavy news day. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. This one is questionable. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Ryan Gosling in talks for a new Star Wars movie. Now, I want to do the Picard meme of my hand in my face looking ashamed. Why an actor as accomplished as Ryan Gosling would attach himself to an IP like Star Wars is, I don't even know what to say. And is this, if you bring up the story, Alan?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's Sean Levy's movie, which,
you mean the director of Deadpool and Wolverine?
He's a good director, yes, but Star Wars, Ryan Gosling. I mean, I could see him being, he'd almost might make a better or more believable son of Han Solo than, say, Adam Driver did. I'm being serious. He's looks like a roguish Han Solo type. Well, what would this movie even be?
I'll tell you.
How is it connected? And
I'll tell you. I'll
do
tell
we
you what
even
this movie
care?
is. I'll tell you what this movie is. It's a musical Star Wars called I'm Just Kenobi.
Oh my God. Well, or it's called Obi-Wan Can Blow Me. I think is that. I don't know what this is. If you would read the scant details.
Yeah.
that we
Ryan
have.
Gosling is headed to the galaxy, the great galaxy far, far away. Three-time award nominee is in negotiations to top-line a Star Wars feature project that'll be directed by Deadpool and Wolverine filmmaker Sean Levy. Details on any Star Wars project are harder to acquire than the plans for the orbital planet killer, or this one, and this one is no exception. Levy has been developing a Star Wars feature since 2022, and Jonathan Topper, who'd collaborated with Levy on films such as This Is Where I Leave You and The Adam Project, has been working on a script for over a year. Levy is producing the feature via his 21 Lap banner, joining Star Wars stewards Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. So, yeah, that's about it.
So no story, no. Is it what timeline? What's
Nope. It just says he's been writing it since 2022.
any speculation about what it could be?
Yeah, it will be the furthest thing from Star Wars you can imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Deadpool and Wolverine, very entertaining movie.
Yeah,
Very entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, do we? The feeling I get is, do we need a Star Wars comedy?
Well, comedy has always been a part of Star Wars,
but not.
Right?
Yeah, but
scroll back up to Ryan Gosling's picture. I don't want to look at words.
No, I don't think.
There we go.
I mean, Star Wars: A New Hope is not a comedy by any means. The comedic elements.
Every Star Wars movies, even the serious ones like Revenge of the Sith, has some layer of humor. They always have humor, something cute, right? R2-D2's cute, Ugnaughts are cute, Ewoks are cute,
Sure,
Porgs are cute,
right? But it's
BB-8 is cute.
Yeah, That's like saying
Onions are cute.
That's like saying George Lucas makes comedies.
When you go to a buffet, they have steak. So you got savory, chicken, salmon, steak. You've got salad, your greens. You got green beans. You've got dessert. It's Star Wars kind of, it's got all the elements of what you want in entertainment. I mean, Star Wars when it's good.
Right.
But we haven't seen really good Star Wars in a while.
Yeah. But when you go to the buffet, the dessert is a small section of that buffet.
You know what would make this great? Here it is. I'm going to give you the secret to this movie being great. And that is if Kathleen Kennedy has absolutely nothing to do with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has the potential to be great. Let Sean Levy Sean Levy alone. And let Gosling. So I don't know. I mean, first of all, I think most people are at the point where they don't care. I mean, I have not finished Skeleton Crew. Have you, Alan?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you and I both pieced out a Skeleton Crew. The ratings for Skeleton Crew are worse than The Acolyte. People don't care. They don't care. They pieced out. So will they care about this? And will it even get financed? And I don't know. I mean, Star Wars, it wasn't like they brought in big celebrities. I mean, it was, I'm talking about the original Star Wars. Here's someone, Yeah. I mean, yes, Christopher Lee and the prequels, like among others, but Peter Cushing, it's Obi-Wan or Alec Guinness.
You're just proving yourself.
No, but what I'm saying is it wasn't like you need, Ryan Gosling's on a different level. So I don't know. Does he want to do that? Or does he really need, The Fall Guy did not, even though I love that movie.
So maybe he needs a Star Wars. I mean, one of the things about Deadpool and Wolverine, and Levy spoke about this often when he was promoting it, was how much hands-off Marvel Studios was.
Right.
They made their movie, and I have to believe that for him to go in the Star Wars direction, that he would have that kind of latitude as well. That he wouldn't go into a project having heavy oversight from Kathleen Kennedy or anyone else. Quite frankly, I don't think Leslie Headland had much oversight from Kathleen Kennedy and the studios for the Acolyte. So maybe he has a great deal of freedom that we're unaware of.
Yeah, I just wonder for Gosling's career, is this a right move? And if Sean Levy is doing it, it's got to be. I would want to know what the idea is, where it's set in the timeline. Is it pirates, Jedi, smugglers? Is it something else? Is it rebels? Like what is the area of the Star Wars universe that it's set in?
Yeah, to your point, Sean Levy is in the same position Rian Johnson was in. There's no one heading Star Wars, or at least the story of Star Wars, the direction of Star Wars. There's no gatekeeper for the lore of Star Wars. So Ryan Levy here is just Sean Levy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sean Levy, he's in the same position as Rian Johnson, where he could just do what he wants to do, and I don't think he's going to get much pushback for it.
There are rumors it's a Rogue Squadron film. This comes from Atomic Glory.
Okay.
But I don't know.
That's not Star Wars. That's
like a war movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a spin-off series. It's a Star Wars story, but it's not
a Star Wars branded IP, taking the skin of Star Wars and putting it on some other kind of movie, which I think we all know kind of doesn't work.
Yeah, that was the thing is, Lucas guided episodes 1 through 6. And then everything else was just ancillary to that. But Star Wars was those 6 prime movies. We don't have that direction anymore. They blew it with 7, 8, and 9. And now they're just giving us Star Wars stories. And I think at some point someone has to step in and say, I'm heading Star Wars, and we're going to make 3 more movies to continue the main story, and delete 7 through 9 while we're at it.
Let's go to your comments here, and I will, Alan. I'm going to take a quick break.
All right,
but I can hear all the comments.
Yes, we know you can.
You know,
except when you flush. Aurora uplinks for 5. I loved her acceptance speech. Hope we get her in more films. Hope her co-stars dog good too. Maybe they can be in a Star Trek or Star Wars film. You're driving me crazy here, Aurora. Let's see. I think we got this one already, but Jason Ackers, YouTube member. Yeah, I need help unstarring some of these. Here we go. Rick 1662 member for 3 months. We might have gotten that one, but if not, welcome aboard. I Want to Eat the Bugs. We had that Frank Grillo film, the Blumhouse Wolfman remake, and now Eggers. Are we experiencing a lycanthrope renaissance? Maybe. Owen Knight for £5. If he's going for Middle English, you should watch Beowulf to remind you of the language he'll be using. Yes. Rudy for 2. I like Nosferatu, but the Vivitch was better in my opinion. I think you may be right, but I believe they are very different movies. Here we go. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. Section 31. Here, let's save that one for when we get to Section 31. So we'll read this one from you. 2 Canadian. I can't stand Ryan Gosling, by the way. Yeah. I always get him mixed up with Ryan Reynolds. And now I can't help but keep them separate, as they're clearly becoming 2 different people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. From MK Solid, Chris should assign Alan as. Oh, yeah, we got that one. Okay. Uncle Jimmy says, for Gosling, it may be a childhood dream of his to be in a Star Wars movie. Him and a million other people.
I want to respond to a comment that someone said earlier. I could hear it.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom. About Robert Eggers doing it. I saw this on social media. These are the horror films coming out this year. There's a lot of horror. Companion, which is next week. I cannot wait to see that, by the way. That looks really good.
Yeah, I may not be seeing that.
A friend of mine saw it, says it's amazing. That's not this Friday, next Friday. 28 years later, The Monkey, They Follow. That's the sequel to It Follows. Mm-hmm. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot. Until Dawn, Opus. I don't know if you saw the trailer for that.
No.
That looks amazing. There's Frankenstein, Faces of Death, Predator, Badlands, Megan 2.0, Bloodlines, Presence. We've talked about that. Ash, Sinners. That's the Ryan Coogler. Clown in a Cornfield. Another Conjuring movie. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Okay.
And I can't see this one on Netflix. I can't read that. But these are the horror films coming out in 2025. It's a good year for horror. Now, look, half of these are not going to be great. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. But look at these. I mean, that's a solid. Companion, I've heard, is phenomenal.
Yeah. There are even films that I'm interested in.
28 years later has one of the best trailers.
Mm-hmm.
They Follow. I loved it. It Follows. High School Senior Prom 88. That's the Netflix thing. Opus looks interesting. I don't know a lot about these. I know the basics of Megan 2.0, and it sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Five Nights at Freddy's, Black Phone 2. So this is horror for 2025. And I don't know. It seems like, look, if half these movies turn out to be decent, that's solid. It's more solid than the lineup of superhero stuff. And you're
I mean,
not a horror fan.
I think every year horror is good, and every year horror tends to be the ones that push the boundaries of indie filmmaking.
Well,
You know, they're all-
Companion is a completely original concept.
Mhm.
It's from the guy who did Barbarian. I cannot wait because I already know too much about it. I don't want to know anymore.
To me, that last trailer,
It ruined.
it ruins it. It ruins it.
it.
There's a major plot point that I had no idea was in it, and it was revealed in the trailer.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't like. Ugh.
No.
Yeah. Well,
I-
anyways,
I would
all
have
I'm
liked to
saying
be
is
surprised.
I'm more enthusiastic about horror than I am about, superhero stuff
Mhm.
at this point.
Sadly.
All right, we've got some more news stories, but I think it's time we give the people what they want. And that is, Alan, if you would put up the poster.
Oh no.
If you put up the poster. Yeah, you had that ready, didn't you?
I did not.
You didn't?
I didn't because
Alan.
I'm really busy at the moment with Dr. Doom, but I'll say it. Alan.
I don't know how he has time to do that. It's kind of
Is the gays.
Okay, I got it.
How long does it take Alan to get
I expect longer, and I expect bigger. Longer, bigger. Long, bigger. Bigger. Longer, bigger.
What is that a reference to? All right, Alan.
All right, here we go. Let me get that up there.
Section 31 has arrived. She's docked on Paramount Plus. You have seen it early,
Yes, I saw it again this morning.
and you soon everyone will get to see it. Let's hear. I need your review of this. You're a longtime Star Trek fan.
Okay. So let me preface this again by saying that Paramount gave me a list of, I believe, 12 items that I cannot mention in this review.
What are the 12 items?
Yeah, let's go down those 12 items. So the only thing I tell you about right now is the plot of Section 31. And it centers around Philippa Georgiou. She is a genocidal leader in a mirror universe. Through events that have already transpired, she is now in the current universe of Star Trek, where she runs kind of a clandestine casino outpost. There's trouble a-brewing. There is a weapon she designed. She had commissioned by her lover, called the Godsend. It's a doomsday type device created in that mirror universe. Now that Philippa is in this universe, we find out that someone got a hold of the Godsend in her universe and brought it into this one. And now it is up to her and Section 31 to track down the doomsday device and save the universe. But doesn't start off that way. It starts off with Section 31 going and trying to recruit Philippa by infiltrating her casino resort Starpost outbase, and the Section 31 is led by Alok, played by Amari Hardwick. He is a leader with a mysterious past, which I'm not allowed to tell you about. He is helped by Quasi, played by Sam Richardson, who is a shapeshifter. Zeph, who is a mech warrior. He's a warrior that has mechanical armor and weapons on him. There is Melly, who is kind of a honey trap, kind of a black widow, someone who seduces you and makes you do what she wants. There is this weird emotional Vulcan called Fuzz, which I can't explain why that exists, but they'll explain it in the show. And then there's Rachel Garrett, who is the Federation liaison assigned to Section 31 to keep them in tow, to make sure they don't murder anybody, and to also apprehend the Godsend. And so that's pretty much what this episode is. It's the formation of Section 31, at least recruiting Philippa into Section 31. They're going after the Godsend using special tech that was created on her planet, in her universe. And look, I'll just repeat what I said in the first time. If this took place during old Star Trek, during the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, you would probably write it off as a kind of a Ocean's 11 spin-off of Star Trek, and maybe you'd be okay with it. But because it exists in a Star Trek that isn't Star Trek anymore, where Star Trek is kind of a spin-off of itself and doesn't follow the principles of the Prime Directive, doesn't give us the vision of a utopian future that Gene Roddenberry created. Section 31 just feels like another version of current day Star Trek, where it's not really Star Trek, but it tries to give off the vibe of Star Trek. I will say this is probably the most enjoyable of current Star Trek.
You're kidding. You're kidding.
But, well, this is the backhanded compliment. It's the most enjoyable of current day Star Trek, except for Picard Season 3. And it's because at least they're trying to have fun with it. And at least they're not bound by the rules of Star Trek that current Star Trek is currently breaking every moment. The way I'll describe it, this show is not perfect. It has plot holes. It is written as if it was created in the 80s and 90s. You remember the TV show Las Vegas with James Caan? And it's kind of like that. It's just, these missions, these battles are set to EDM music. It really doesn't take itself seriously. And I think the worst thing about it is that it is branded Star Trek. I think if you pulled out the branding of Star Trek, you probably would have a mediocre television show, sci-fi action adventure television show, featuring the Suicide Squad type band of outlaws. But I think the fact that it is labeled Star Trek is going to ruin it. I think people are not going to like it because it is Star Trek. But I would say I would be interested in people telling me what of current day Star Trek is better than this. And I think you'd be hard pressed to come up with it. Because this one wants to have fun. The other ones want to be Star Trek and fails miserably short. While this one just wants to be fun. Again, plot holes crazy. The Doomsday device. The problem with the Doomsday device is you're told it's a Doomsday device, but you never really get to see it in action. And I'll give you this example. Remember in The Rock, the movie The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage? There are those little green balls.
Yeah.
And the movie starts off with what happens if one of those little green balls burst. And you see the devastation and destruction that chemical weapon does. You see it right from the beginning. So you see the stakes. The stakes of them needing to keep this chemical weapon from ever exploding. That doesn't happen in this. We're just told this is the worst weapon in the world, and we need to get it. And that's it. That's the biggest problem with this show is that, the stakes are not that high. The story is weak. It's not written by very good people, but it is probably the most enjoyable of current Star Trek.
Sad to hear that.
Yeah,
it's really sad to hear that. So look, what would you rank it in terms?
I'll currently rank it a 5. Yeah, let me ask you this. Yeah,
so 5 out of 10 is like positive.
It's bare. Look, look. This is set up. This is set up as the start of a series, which it clearly won't be because they're not going to pay Michelle Yeoh to be in a Star Trek TV series like this. But what it is at the end of it, with all the events that I'm not allowed to tell you transpires, it's like, okay, I might give it a second episode. I might see how this plays out. Let me ask
about those things. There were 12 things they said to not talk about.
Right.
Are they that big a deal?
It's mostly spoilers, because things happen in it that you may or may not expect.
Would I care?
They would be true spoilers, and some of them I'll just say are cameos, and the cameos aren't that big a deal.
Okay, just say cold or warm. Star Trek: The Next Generation cameos.
Cold.
What?
Cold.
Star Trek Original Series cameos.
Cold.
DS9 cameos.
Cold.
Enterprise cameos.
Okay, here, let's put it this way. Except for Michelle Yeoh, I'll say cold to everything you say.
Oh God.
Okay.
Forget
Okay.
it. I don't even care.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I mentioned this the last time, but when you saw Encounter at Farpoint for the first time, did you think Star Wars was going to go in a great direction?
You mean Star Trek?
Star Trek, sorry.
It was weird, but I actually looked fondly on that first episode.
Yeah, and I think it was because, and I think, look, I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I thought Encounter at Farpoint was somewhat of a misstep, but because I wanted to see Star Trek back, I was willing to give it a chance for the rest of the season. And quite frankly, Star Trek: The Next Generation didn't pick up until season 3.
Yeah, and when it did, it got really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I hung in there.
Really good.
I hung in there for 2 seasons with mediocre story, with the wrong ship's doctor in the 2nd season,
and it became appointment viewing. Like you had to watch it.
Yeah,
like the Borg, like cliffhanger.
Yeah, the Borg was
was amazing.
The introduction of the Borg when Q comes and flings. That's when Star Trek: The Next Generation got great for me. This one, this one's like Encounter at Farpoint. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna say, "Yeah, okay," and there was some interesting things that would make me say, "Okay, I might hang out for another episode to see what happens or see the direction." It just, I know it won't happen, but that's kind of my feeling walking away from Section 31. I saw it. It was, there were good elements to it, and maybe if they tried to do it again, but I just don't have faith in current leadership to say that this is going to be a great Star Trek franchise coming out.
So it's a 5 out of 10, but worth seeing.
Well, I know for a fact that people who love Star Trek are going to not like this, and it's going to be mostly for Star Trek reasons.
Fair enough. Let's go to comments here. Your comments.
Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. Section 31 is a spinoff of Discovery, which is now non-canon, so it isn't really Star Trek. Yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. Jim Watari for 10. Are you guys going to WonderCon this year?
Well, I'll say this. I pitched some panels. I was rejected last year. I expect to be rejected this year.
Yep.
But if you invite me on a panel, if you invite Alan and I on a panel, we'll be on your panel, and which would help us get badges.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost certain I'll get 2 press badges for you and me.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess we are going.
Yeah. You just, whether we'll have a panel will be another thing.
And my panel will be at the Hilton. It'll be at the Hilton bar.
Yeah.
Just look for me.
Or it'll be at the Hilton at 7:30 at night.
Or at the Marriott bar.
Yeah.
That's right.
Darth Bender member for 13 months. I held to the legendary film threat.
Oh, thanks, Darth Bender.
Yeah. Geek Truth 64, member for 21 months. Section 31 was done well in DS9. This one ain't it. Nope.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't even remember it in DS9. Let's see. Brock Samson. Cass Gosling is Dr. Doom, and only let him show his face once. The rest of the time, he's under the mask, hiding his small face scar.
Yeah, I love that. I have a illustration by Jack Kirby of Dr. Doom taking off the mask. And this is it's in a limited edition book that I bought, an art book of Jack Kirby. And he has one scar. It's tiny, but he's so vain, he doesn't want to be seen.
Interesting. Anonymous. So we have mechs in Star Trek now, kind of.
How does that work?
It's just he comes from a society that is heavily armored. Star Star Trek. Unknown. This sounds like a mission straight out of Starfield the game. Yeah. ZG for 5. Next Generation is the greatest television series of all time, not just in Trek. I love Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, Next Gen. When here's what was great about Next Gen was I especially like the bottle shows, which are a show where they don't really go anywhere. It's on the you see the ship is the setting. It's all about the writing and the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So much of it. Although I have to say, Guinan has let herself go.
Well, that's why she wears that giant tent in the show.
Oh my! No, I mean I'm talking about The View.
I know.
Oh my
This is
God.
the same response. Same response.
Yeah, but yeah, ZG, you are right. It's really good. Just great stories, characters. You were right, Alan. When it got to season 3, it was cooking.
Yeah. That Borg episode when Q introduces them to the Borg.
Right.
I'm just stunned at how great this series can be. And
the music was good, and it was they gave it time to get good. Those first few seasons were a little rocky, but when it got good, chef's kiss, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the lesson of the Next Generation that I got. Captain Picard exuded what real leadership is.
Yeah.
He's the captain of the ship. He has a crew of advisors. Each one gives them their opinions about how they should resolve this situation. These opinions were diverse. The Worf was the warlike one, science and all that stuff. Then Picard would take in all the information he received and make a decision, and then everyone followed their leader to follow and do that decision. That's leadership. And that's leadership we haven't seen in America, in the world, for the last 2 decades.
I wish Picard was the mayor of LA.
Yeah, exactly. Admiral Teague, it sounds so much dumber than the dumbest episode of Voyager. Yeah.
Can you hear the trucks outside my place?
No, I can't.
All right, they're grinding up trees.
Okay. Yeah. Ben Johnson for 5. I miss the utopian vision. Yep.
Yeah, I miss that hopeful, we can solve any problem. It's just this. And I miss Geordie LaForge. Think of the great Riker.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many great characters. And then they would have their moments. They'd have an episode to shine.
Yeah.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. That was the problem with the movies, was it was Picard and Riker. The rest were very much supporting cast. The other thing is, it is that idea that we've reached this utopian society, this utopian view of humanity. And by visiting other planets, that kind of was your ability to take humanity's problems and juxtapose it against a utopian version of that and figure out a way to solve that planet's problem. That's Star Trek to me. Mr. Kirk 2019 for 999. I like Encounter at Farpoint. I like seasons 1 and 2 better than later at TNG. Later season became boring to me, and got farther what I like from Trek as a big fan of the original and best series.
I'll defend that a bit. It became its own thing. It wasn't Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. It wasn't the original series.
Yeah.
It was something different, and it was good in its own way. That's why when people say, "What do you like? Original series, Next Gen?" I like them, but they're different. They're different things. I like this. It's but those early episodes, they really I love introducing the Ferengi and different aliens, creating. It did its own thing, and I think did it well. So
yeah,
thank you, Mr. Kirk.
Yeah, and I like Deep Space Nine, especially because they brought in religion to it.
Right.
They expanded on the Ferengi. They really built out what Ferengi were and the rules of acquisition. And then it got better once I forgot the Foundation or the Founders were brought in, and just kind of extended that thing. The collapse of the Kardashian Empire. Yeah, love it. And then I stopped watching Star Trek.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ryan Landis. I'm more interested in the 12 things you can't talk about it.
Why would they list all 12? That's weird.
Yeah, because they're true spoilers. I also think, if I gave it away, it does give away major plot points within the show that happen early on. Yeah, and it's weird also because this was definitely written as a pilot episode of a series. And why ruin that? Just watch it and like or dislike it. I don't care. Patrick Lemire, Star Trek and Star Wars have been reduced to mere logos slapped on generic bad sci-fi.
Fair enough.
Yep. Brock Samsonite also says the poster of this movie does not look like a Star Trek poster at all. Yeah. I don't think it's. Yeah. Like I said, I think you would probably be kinder to this show if it came out during DS9 versus today. Because that's what you're working off against. You're working off against good Star Trek back then versus bad Star Trek today.
I don't know what this is, but let's take a look at this.
Gee.
5'8" and 13 inches. There's no way.
Yes, there is. And if you don't know how to take your business to the next level, come see us in Lightbox.
This is the biggest I've ever seen in real life, but this is fine. It's completely fine.
Yes, I know. Because we've been making signage for more than 14 years. Any size can be customized. With 3 years warranty, you won't see.
If this is you, you better lower your mother tone when you talking to me.
If you don't know how to make a store sign, take it from shadow letters.
I love Tony.
Oh my God.
Tony's great. All right. We've got, we're waiting for our special guest. Let's see if we can get to another news story.
Yeah.
Emilia Perez, and we'll find out tomorrow if the Netflix movie Emilia Perez, which is directed by a French filmmaker, it's in Spanish and English, and it involves a man who becomes a woman to escape his drug cartel past and then seeks some kind of redemption for the deaths he's responsible for, and then somehow meets his kids and ex-wife again, and they can't tell it's him. It's Mrs. Doubtfire with a guy from a drug cartel. If you bring up the story, Alan, it's the most nominated foreign language film. Tell us about this.
Well, it is. They are preceding the actual nominations. Final Oscar prediction: could Emilia Perez make history, and will the director branch snub women?
What do they mean by that? What do they mean by that?
Okay, here we go. In a year without a front runner, the doors are still wide open. I'm predicting 3 films will tie for most nominations with 10 each: Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Jacques Audier of crime musical Emilia Perez is poised to dominate, and if it can tack on a tech nom or 2, the Netflix film could become the most nominated non-English language film in history, surpassing Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2000, and Roma. The streamer's primary award, Pony, could potentially go even further. On an ideal nomination day, if it lands nods on all of its on-the-bubble categories, including cinematography, sound, extra bids for supporting actress and original song, tying All About Eve, Titanic, La La Land, and La La Land. So, yeah.
Here's the deal. How are people going to react to this? Because this will be one of an Oscar nominated movie that will be the least seen by the public.
Mm-hmm.
Least seen. And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, the reason I brought this article to our attention is I cannot believe Emilia Perez, again, is getting the attention that it is after having finally seen Emilia Perez. There's only one reason Emilia Perez is being nominated and given the attention that it is, and it's because it checks boxes. That's all it does. And, in what could be the year of the woman, the irony of its star to be nominated for Best Actress.
Right.
You know, the fact that they're even considering Selena Gomez, who I've talked to people who know the Spanish language better than I do, and are telling me that her Spanish is god awful in Emilia.
Oh, really?
And that it is bad high school Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, is this the last year of diversity for the Oscars? Will they get rid of it? Because there's just no credibility for the Oscars if this movie gets even close to the 10 nominations. That's just my opinion there.
I will question the Oscars if this movie is, I could see a nomination here and there, but if this gets the 10 plus noms, I don't know, man. I mean, we will know tomorrow morning because we're going to go through the nominations.
Yeah.
Watch us live. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm very skeptical. Yeah. Alan, your thoughts?
My biggest frustration is people when I say that Emilia Perez is the worst movie of the year, people will go to the obvious, MAGA type criticism, and all I have to say to you is, did you actually watch the movie?
Right.
Did you watch the movie? And now tell me it's the best movie of the year, please. Did you listen to the music? Did you listen to the lyrics of the music? Did you watch how the music was sung? Did you watch how people danced to the music? Did you listen to Selena Gomez's Spanish? Did you, from a film standpoint, please tell me why Emilia Perez is the greatest movie of this year. That's all I have to say. And why, if it does do well at the Oscars, I have to question the validity of it now.
Let's go to comments here, and then we have our special guest waiting in the wings.
ADL 1992 for 499. Star Wars died. Let it stay dead. Stop trying to prop it up.
Thanks, ADL 1992.
All right. C Sign 69. We all know with the current political climate in Hollywood, of course, this movie will get the most nominations and probably win. They think they're thumbing their nose at the majority of the public. I mean, to compare Emilia Perez to Wicked as a musical, I mean, watch the movie. Joseph, Hollywood not trying to win the public back. Yeah. And then from Aurora, uplinks for 5. Quark made the Ferengi interesting. His entire family were rogues to the rules of acquisition and showed a mix of dogma and going their own way. Yep. And I love going to Quark's Bar in Vegas. Patrick Lemire, Netflix Oscar campaign are the new Miramax Oscar campaigns. Yeah, they spend a lot of money on their campaign. I can verify that. Pilgrim Media for 2, the Oscars have been corrupted.
Well, there you go. All right, let's pivot. We have a special guest joining us because they are releasing some of my favorite films right here. Russ Meyer movies are back. They're on Blu-ray and they are smoking hot. Let's talk to David Gregory from Severin Films. Is going to tell us all about it, and we will discuss the legacy of Russ Meyer. Hey, David, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and hopefully Erica Gavin will join us momentarily. We're glad to have you here. I remember I worked at a video store when I was in high school. Russ Meyer films were always rented out. Let's just say that. And God, I mean, my memory of them, there's something about them that they're not porn, but they're not, they're not exactly, I mean, they're hard R, let's say that.
Yes.
And I remember ordering Russ Meyer movies on VHS. I called the number, and you know who answered? Russ Meyer.
Yep.
When you would buy Russ Meyer movies, you ordered them from Russ Meyer. Tell me about the collection. tell me what went into the restoration of these. Hopefully Erica will join us. And I want to show I don't know if I can show this trailer. We'll find out. Tell me all about it.
Well, so we worked with the Russ Meyer Trust, basically. I mean, it's been some time since these films have been available, since Laserdisc, basically. They've been unavailable except for a few DVDs that were produced by the Trust. And they have not actually been remastered since the early 80s when Russ himself transferred them from the negative for the VHS releases. So it was way past time. And there was all kinds of rumors over the years what had happened to the negatives of these films, since Russ's health was deteriorating. And turned out that they were actually, the negatives all exist. They're all either at the Museum of Modern Art or at the Academy here in LA. And so we were able to come to an agreement with the Trust. We had to prove that our intentions were honorable, i.e. we had to make sure that they were packaged and looked the way that Russ would have done if he was here now to remaster his movies and release them in the current climate on Blu-ray and UHD, which includes, the packaging and the transferring the way he packaged them on VHS basically has been adapted for these latest releases. But we went back to the negatives, scanned them in 4K, and it's anyone who's seen these films before, you haven't seen them looking anything like this. These are beautiful. I mean, Russ Meyer is definitely one of the greatest American independents in the history of cinema. And so these films were definitely worthy of going all the way to make sure they had full, proper restorations.
And he's a guy, like as a filmmaker, owned his own movies.
Yes.
And created stars. I saw when I first moved to LA, I wasn't exactly a strip club aficionado. I know many of you probably would not believe that, but I went to the Seventh Veil on Sunset and I saw Kitten Natividad in a giant champagne glass dancing to the song Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And if you've seen what Kitten Natividad looks like, she lived up to that song. Now, what went into the? The thing I love about Russ Meyer was they were exploitation movies, yes, but they knew what they were. There were themes of female empowerment, actually, but wrapped in an exploitation, humorous, fun story.
Very much. I mean, he was very much an auteur, if you can apply that in this situation. He was making his movies about his obsessions, which number one was big-breasted women, but he also, had a lot of other stuff to say in his films. And like you say, he made a lot of stars out of the women that were cast in these movies. Erica Gavin is one of them. She's incredible in Vixen. And nobody had seen anything like that, a female character like that in a movie in the 60s. It was controversial, very controversial movie, and probably still is in some respects today. In fact, it's still banned in Ohio. But yeah, that was something that we always champion at Severin, is like it's filmmakers that are working outside of the mainstream. And Russ was the ultimate. He did everything. He controlled the ownership of his movies because he made his movies. He financed them. He even distributed them, as you say, answering the phone and saying, how many copies of this do you want? He did the whole lot.
And also, so many filmmakers today have been influenced by Russ Meyer. I mean, Quentin Tarantino. He obviously, just having seen his films, if you watch Faster, Pussycat, Kill, clear influences for Quentin, and other filmmakers as well.
Yeah, that's right. The editing style in particular is something that's very, specific to the way that Russ makes films. He was also a fantastic photographer. I mean, he started as a still photographer and as a war photographer. So, his the actual shooting of his films, the compositions, is something that was very important to me. I mean, there is a lot of filmmaking skill that goes into these movies. They're not just, about bouncy breasts, although, that's pretty big part of it too.
Let's take a look. This is from your YouTube channel. Severin Films has a YouTube channel. Just look up Severin Films. This is the trailer for Vixen. Now, I've seen it. It's racy. It dances up to the line, but it's PG-13. So let's watch this.
Russ Meyers' Vixen, the story of a girl who loves the joy of being alive and gives herself innocently to the merry chase of life. But like any other game, life has its rules, and if we trespass beyond them, the game can become deadly.
No!
There is no stronger bond than the friendship between two men. Judd and Niles shared such a bond, a brotherly tie blind to color. And yet, in a moment of violent passion, one led the other to the edge of destruction. Both pushed by Vixen, her frustration nurtured by an empty lack of understanding. Her only weakness, a cancerous evil she was taught, that human beings are to be classified by the color of their skin. An inner sickness that will come close to destroying not only her, but those around her. It will bring them to a moment of truth in an empty sky, with the black man a fulcrum in the deadly teeterboard of life. The hatred inside Vixen fired by yet another hate, the sinister preachings of the communist puppet. Vixen, an adult motion picture experience that is rated X. The management of this theater urges you to see Russ Meyers' Vixen.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. And that's the original trailer, right?
Yeah, that's right. We got the negatives to the original trailers too.
That's when trailers were great.
What's on the disc? Like with the movie, it's obviously the trailer.
Yes, the movie, the trailer, there is an interview with Russ. There's a commentary with Russ that he did back for the Laserdisc. There's an archival interview with Russ. Then Erica Gavin and I did a new commentary for it. And there is a interview featurette I shot in 2006 with Erica Gavin and Harrison Page. But there is also a featurette about the film being banned in Ohio, the whole story about, you know, why all these movie theaters got busted and the prints seized. And that's with a guy called Mark Hoyk, who basically owns one of the prints that was seized that still has the tags on it from the police seizure.
Wow.
And I am a fan of your company. I have, I know how hard it is. With we had a company, Film Threat Video. We put out VHS in the 90s.
I remember. Yeah.
Your company, Severin Films. Look at this. So much good stuff. Not only what you get, but it's the packaging as well. There is care put into the packaging. So just want to say, I didn't know you were doing
I mean, that is very important to us, you know,
yes.
First and foremost, the presentation of the film, but also we treat all of our extras like they're small productions. You know, we take them very seriously, and the packaging, and sometimes the toys that we make that come along with them. If you ever wanted a Joe Spinell plushie, you can get it from us.
That's awesome. Well, David, I'm sure I'll see you at some convention. You're going to be at Monster Palooza, I assume.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah. Please don't go. We've got our audience. We've got over 2,000 people watching live. We have questions for you. Would you like to answer a few questions from our audience?
Sure, I'd be happy.
Here we go. Let's start here. Alan, if you would.
Yeah, Razorburn. Faster Pussycat Kill Kill is one of my favorite midnight movies.
Yep.
Nice.
A lot of comments. Ron is right. Faster Pussycat Kill Kill is one of the worst movies ever made.
Ron is wrong.
It's one of the best. No, it's great. There's so many layers to that movie.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Love it.
All right. D. Goodhart. By the way, Severin is to be further admired beyond just Russ Meyers releases. They have their fantastic Bruceploitation set and a second volume of All the Haunts to Be Ours Too. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, All the Haunts Be Ours is our vast collections of folk horror films from around the world. And we just released the second volume.
I will say a lot of admiration. I'm not sure about questions, but a lot of admiration for
read
Patrick Lemire. Roger Ebert co-wrote several Russ Meyer films, or is it just the one?
No. He wrote. I believe he wrote Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens as well.
Oh, okay. D. Goodhart. Though those Russ Meyer Blu-rays are tremendous. I watched all three of them a couple weeks ago. Just had a blast. Severin did a hell of a job.
There you go. Getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
Last question.
Question from Razorburn. Is Beyond the Valley of Dolls also released?
Criterion put out Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, yeah, because that one's owned by Fox. So there was a couple of movies he went away from the independent production, made a couple of movies for Fox, and then came back to being an independent producer.
Great, David, thank you for joining us. You can look up severinfilms.com. We'll put the link in the description. And thank you so much. I'll probably see you at Monster Palooza.
Indeed, and thank you for having me. I've been a Film Threat fan since the 90s, so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. You're doing you're the Criterion of tits. What can I say? I think that's yeah. Cool. All right, take care, David.
All right,
see you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. That was a great interview. David's awesome. We're going to leave it there. So I want to say thank you to my friend Alan. He's always got my back.
Yeah.
He's always got my back. And I want to say thank you to Atomic Lori, Glenuccio, who's working on our videos for Award This. Thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth. We will be live tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Eastern. Tune in. Alan and I will react live to the Oscar nominations, give our thoughts. I will not be on Friday's show. Dante James will be guest co-hosting with Alan. I will be watching and critiquing the whole time.
Yes, I'll be getting texts through the entire show.
Well, I will send you maybe a video to show.
Okay.
On getting on the plane to Sundance, something that I'm going to give you words of encouragement.
You may land by the time the show is over. So
probably my flight is at 9 a.m. So
I imagine it's like an hour-long flight.
Yeah, it's short, so I might get to send you some video from the snow. I will be doing coverage from Sundance, which I will show the following week, and I'll be doing videos for members only. So
yeah, and then I should announce a potential Film Threat member meetup at February 13th at the AMC at Disney Springs, where we will be watching Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Alan will be in Florida when the movie opens. He'll be on the show, but from Florida. I'm excited for that. And
yeah, and there's plenty of tickets available.
Yeah, I know. I went to get tickets. I'm like, oh, this isn't that hard. A little sad to see. It's okay. But thank you all. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
So what can you say?
If I'm not online by 4:45, give me a call because one of my alarms didn't go off then.
It says I came up with it. Yeah. Real intelligence.
Did you mean to say that?
I have no idea what the context of that is.
All right. Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Alan?
Let's get out of here.